What's going on, guys? Justin Fuller, ex-Honda salesman, tech lover, and today, your host on the 2024 Honda HR-V Sport. So in roughly the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how this car stacks up against other makes and models out there in the world when it comes to horsepower, miles per gallon, front row leg space, back row leg space, cargo space, ground clearance, all kinds of stuff. And then how is it different from a 2023? So let's go! In the front of this vehicle, you've got a 2-liter engine putting out 158 horsepower. I'm going to throw that comparison up so you can see how does this engine putting out 158 horsepower stack up to other makes and models out there in the world. While that's up, I'll just remind you, if you're looking at a 23, maybe something pre-owned, it's the exact same engine, exact same transmission, CVT setup, right? Now, when it comes to MPGs, this car gets 26 in the city and 32 on the highway. Understand if you go to an all-wheel drive model, that is going to differentiate, right? There's going to be some differences there. But I want to throw something up on the screen so you can see how does the MPGs in this vehicle stack up against other makes and models out there in the world. While it's up, I'll just remind you once again, 23, not going to make a difference. It is going to be the same as far as that goes. Now, in the front of this car, I've got 41.9 inches of leg space. That's a lot. It's bigger than the CR-V. I've got plenty of space, and the center console's it's not quite as fat as the CR-V, but I've got space where I can spread out too. So if you're a man spreading kind of guy, you're good to go. But I want to throw some up on the screen so you can understand how does the 41.9 inches of leg space stack up to other vehicles out there in the world. While that's up, I'll remind you, 23, the exact same, you're good to go, shop pre-owned. Now, when you jump into the second row, you've got 37.7 inches of leg space in this vehicle. So I'm gonna throw that comparison up so you can see how it stacks up to other makes and models out there in the world. While that's up, I'll just remind you, if you were in a CR-V, you'd be at 41 inches, so a little bit bigger in the back of this vehicle, but not dramatically big. So depending on what your needs are, maybe this saves you the money that you need to get there, right? Now, when you go to cargo space, with the seats folded up, you've got 24.4 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of this vehicle. So I'm going to throw a comparison up so you can see how does that 24.4 stack up against other makes and models out there in the world. While it's up, 23, remind you, exact same, you're good, shop pre-owned, save some dollars. Now, when you flip those seats down, you got 55.1 cubic feet of cargo space with the full potential, right? The full cargo space. So I'll throw that comparison up so you can understand how does the full cargo space stack up against other makes and models out there in the world. While it's up, I'll just remind you, it's nice and flat back there. So if you wanted to go camping, you could throw something back there and sleep in the car. If you needed to throw a bicycle or something in here, you'd probably have to go sideways to get it because you just don't have the height, but you could absolutely do it. If you were in a band and you had some equipment, guitars, amps, drum set, whatever the case may be, you've actually got a lot of space back there. You could use it. This vehicle has 7 inches of ground clearance from here to here. So if you're shopping SUVs, maybe ground clearance is important to you. So I'm going to throw something up on the screen so you can see how the 7 inches of ground clearance on this vehicle stacks up to other makes and models out there in the world. Now, lastly, I want to talk to you about the trim levels. This is the Sport, so below it is the LX and above it is the EXL. So if you're thinking, hey, I might want to save a little bit of money and I want to drop down that LX, how much money is it going to save you? And then what's the list of items that you're going to give up to do so? And then secondarily, if you're in the Sport and you're thinking, maybe I drop a couple extra bucks and I want to get that EXL, right? How much extra is that going to cost you? And then what is that list of items that you're going to gain by spending that extra money? Now, after all is said and done, I just want to ask you for a couple favors. One, I hope you'll press the like button because you like the way I present the content. Two, I hope you leave a comment. If you feel like I missed something, if there's something you want to see, or if you have questions, please do ask. Third, I hope you subscribe to the channel so when I produce content like this or on products like the CPC 200T box, pretty cool, you'll get info on that. And then fourth, I hope you'll share the video, man. If you got some friends that are shopping for a small SUV or considering a Honda or even specifically an HR-V, I hope you'll share this video with them so you can see how this car stacks up against other makes and models out there in the world. So, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Later, guys!